Hi guys, my name is Jide Martins and I'm the CEO of Comic Republic. Welcome to Night.com. Every comic starts from the creative mind, and creative mind could be anyone. It starts with an idea, an imagination, a concept. And so the concept is now brought to the general team, either internally or externally. And then as a team, because that's one of the things that drive Comic Republic, we deliver as one, we act as one. As a team, we run through every idea. We try to, make it bulletproof. We try to, have the logic test. That's what we call it, because we believe that even though it's fictional, every story needs to be realistic in the fictional universe. And so we run through it, and when everybody's happy with the idea and everybody has gone through it, then we start with conceptualization. We start to conceptualize the character, bring the character to life. And there's so much that goes into that phase. In fact, that's the most important phase. You look at things like location, where the character is from, what language does the character speak, personality quirks, and things like that. And once we know what the character is like, then we can start to do the surrounding things, the environment, what are the supporting cast, and things like that. So we generally bring the character to life. We give the character a personality, a team, a background, and a storyline altogether. Then after that, it moves straight to the script writers. And so we have a content director and we have a head of script writing, and those two work together to give us a script. We work, and those two work with the writer or the creator of a particular character or a title or a comic book. And then when we have the script, it's now sent to the production team. The production team is a team of very, very talented creative people. Those are the people that brings the words and the imaginations to life. They make they bring life to characters, and so that consists of the people who do the line art. We don't say pencil art anymore because there are two styles of making comics nowadays. We have people who are traditional artists, and then we have people who are digital artists, but both of them always have line art, so we use the term line art. So you have people who do the line art, then you have people who do the inking, and then from inking we move to coloring, and then from coloring, we now move to lettering. And once the comic book has been lettered, it goes through digital editing, where our creative director edits it to make sure he puts all the special effects and all of that. And then once that is done, it now falls back to the editing team to ensure that we don't have things like typographical error, the story makes sense and stuff like that. It's sent back to the creative team to ensure that the comic book is actually meeting what the story was supposed to be. And once that's approved, it goes on to final physical production. Comics are my passionate and my soft spots. Why? Because when I was young, when I had tough decisions to make, what used to guide me, what used to be my moral compass for me, at least, was what would Superman do or what would Batman do? And those two, especially because they were at complete ends of the spectrum. Batman, even though he's human and had limits, would always push the boundary and would do whatever it takes for justice. And then we have Superman, who's all powerful. And at the end of the day, even though he's all powerful, he's yet so humble and so dedicated to justice. And both of them, always at the end of the day did what was right, not what was easy, but what was right. And that used to drive me to want to be better. And, I found out that it helped me stay on the right path. It helped me to always want to be, I wanted to be one of the good guys because I liked the good guys I saw in the comics. The comic industry market in Nigeria is slow, but it's growing. And it's growing faster than we expected. I mean, we're barely 6 years, and we're already recognized internationally. We're barely 6 years, and we already have, sponsorship and ads from major companies. But we're still far from the ideal place. But again, like I said, we're growing. We tell people at Comic Republic, we tell people that we're not an African comic book company. We're a comic book company that happens to be African. And that has been our success story. Because as much, our goal is to take Africa to the world. We're not just creating comics for Africans, but we're creating comics for an international audience. And why do we want to do that? Because we want the world to see our beauty, how unique we are. We want the world to see our strength. And I mean, there's no need singing to the choir. Nigerians know who we are. So, we try to reach an international audience. And because of that, we've set our standards and our limits high. very high actually. The sky is the limit for us, and we want to play with international players. And so everything we produce, even though it has an African team and comes from African content, is made for the international scene. We have loads of interesting characters. I could go all day just telling you, you know, how awesome our characters are. Well, the first thing is our characters are based on moral background. And each character, every one of our characters has to have a lineage to our moral tradition or the things that we hold as a people. And so let me start with our flagship character, Guardian Prime. Guardian Prime is the fifth element of 5 elements that are necessary for life to exist on Earth. He's the man element. So basically, he's everything a man can do, just magnified to godlike strength. But what is really interesting about him is that the limits of his power is based on his faith and belief in himself. Like every human being, the stronger he believes he is, the stronger he gets. The faster he believes he can fly, the faster he gets. So he really needs to motivate himself and believe that nothing is impossible for him to get stronger, for him to be able to achieve great things. And that's a moral that we're trying to teach people as a whole. And that's one of the reasons why he had to be a man. And not an alien like Superman, but a man. You know, as an example, shining hope for all men, you know, to believe in themselves and be able to attain great things. And then we have loads of inspiring characters, like, for example, Ireti. Ireti in Yoruba means hope. And so Ireti stands for the hope that every Nigerian woman brings. Everybody knows that it's the woman that holds the home together. The woman is the one that really influences the children. And hence, everything starts from home. And so the community we have out there right now is really based on the shoulders of the woman. And so as long as we have women out there who are doing what they're supposed to do, Nigeria as a whole has hope. And that's what Ireti, Moremi and Ireti Bidemi stand for altogether. Here's how we make money. Most people know that we give out our comics free. And so what's our business sense? We run ads in our comics. Not only do we run ads, we give our characters out for licensing. One of the major deals we closed last year was closing a deal with a company called Aviva, who makes exercise books. We've run ads for companies like First Bank, we've run ads for companies like Samsung, we've run ads for companies like Waka Now, and the list is long. We make comics for other projects, you know, educational projects, personal projects for people around the world. We do commissions for news agencies. And all of this stem from people reading our comics and, you know, enjoying the stories that we tell and seeing the quality of our work. Animations is not only the next step for Comic Republic, it's the present step for Comic Republic. We have an active animation team, and we're presently working on our first animated title, which we're hoping will be out in maybe the next 2 months from the date of this recording.
Hi everyone, my name is Michael Olashibomi Balogun. What do you need to know before coming into an industry like this? So basically, yeah, you need to have the knowledge of art in general. You need to have the knowledge of art, you need to know what the industry is all about. You need to have at least a little bit of an educational background in art. Even if you didn't go to school to study art, you still need to understand what art is. There is Google, there are a lot of platforms out there on the internet that you can use to find out more information about art.
Hi, my name is Tobe Max Eziogu. I'm the Chief Operations Officer and Creative Director of Comic Republic. What I do is I supervise a lot of the comics that are coming out. I work on the design, the outlook of the comic book, each comic book. I make sure that it's up to standard with the international markets out there. I also handle a lot of writing, editing, and graphic work in the company.
Hi everyone, my name is Cassandra Mark. I'm a digital colorist, scriptwriter, and editor at the Comic Republic. I don't think it really matters whether you're drawing dresses or comics. I think it's more about what you're interested in. I just happen to be into, you know, the comic culture, the Superman, Batman anime, and I'm simply trying to recreate what I love in a format that's a little similar to home, basically.